What did that look like?
The nose.
Oh, it's been well.
An eye.
All right.
Oh,
We're calling,
hey, no one.
calling the joining of the Kingston Common Council Conference.
Wow.
That's, I don't think that's gonna. You need our attention.
Behave.
I'm sure.
You go to Colorado and you come back all rebellious.
Gotta see this.
Wow.
What does that look like?
Like something I would fall off and kill myself.
Okay.
It's the trail I was walking down after the Madison Mountain.
That's like a koala bear.
Oh, it's a face, man.
Don't you
You don't see
see it?
the eyes, the nose, you don't see.
Yeah, I see the nose. You're walking down somebody's, the bridge of their nose, right?
It's pretty much what's up.
Is it against the rules to pick koala bears?
It's what you said. I wonder what a nurse.
You're right, it doesn't quite. And when you're down.
All right, let's go. Let's go. People, focus.
Okay. Here we go.
All right. First off, thank you to everyone who pulled for me when I was not here. I appreciate everybody sitting on finance and support. So resolution 85, resolution of Common Council authorizing 2025 budget transfer in the comptroller's office in the amount of $34,600 to reconcile accounts. Anything we need to know about this?
No.
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 No financial impact. Okay, good. We're good with that one. 86, authorizing budget transfer in the fire department, the amount of $263,000 from a pending DASNY grant to motor vehicles contingent on awarding the grant accounts. This one also is no financial impact. Moving a grant through the system.
This is good. It's for another ambulance.
Mhm. Yep.
A new one.
That's,
Brand.
So we'll get it in 3 years.
No, they've got some,
No.
they found something spot.
no.
So if this grant goes through, we will have a brand new spanking new ambulance.
That's
Soon.
From the, yeah.
Resolution 87, authorizing a budget transfer in the Department of Public Works, the amount of $25,000 to cover the costs of retirement payouts. So that would be a $25,000 hit. So, required. We're okay with that. Resolution 88, authorizing budget transfer in the Department of Public Works in the amount of $65,825 to cover the costs of retirement payouts. Same deal as the immediate prior one. Resolution 89, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for a Resilient New York Program grant in the amount of $2,520,000 for the 12th Steel Brook Culvert Replacement Project, and to execute any and all related documents. If we got this one, this would come with a match, so there would be some cost. But this is just for the application. Are we okay with that?
Very okay.
Mhm.
Is there a problem with like golf balls getting in there?
No, it's Brook Street, Chapel Street, and Wilbur is the culverts. So they we're getting a lot of flooding, so this would change the culverts from to be able to handle a 100-year flood versus the 50-year floods.
Go for 500 while you're at it, right? All right.
Okay.
Resolution 90, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Department of State for a local waterfront revitalization program implementation projects grant in the amount of $1 million for the Kingston Point Beach Swimming Facilities Upgrades Project and to execute any and all related documents. Everyone okay with that one?
Mhm.
Resolution 91, authorizing the mayor to submit an application to the New York State Department of State for a coastal rehabilitation and resilience projects grant in the amount of up to $1.3 million for the Mariners Pump Station project and to execute any and all related documents. Good with that?
Mhm.
92, resolution to save neighborhood social security offices, Medicare and Medicaid. Everybody remember this? Everybody good with this one?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 93, the common council its intent to serve as lead agency and seek a coordinated review for the New York Swims Kingston Point Beach Swimming Facilities Project. Here we go with that.
Yes.
94, resolution to pass a strong packaging reduction and recycling infrastructure act. This would be going to our electeds at a higher level. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Resolution 95, referring a request to rezone properties along Schwenk Drive to T5 Main Street to the City of Kingston Planning Board, Ulster County Planning Board, and the Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission, and setting a public hearing schedule. We're gonna write that.
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I did wanna, I thought was this in laws and rules?
Yes.
We talked about this?
Yes.
I thought we also wanted this referred to, the zoning implementation task force.
Did you look at the actual resolution?
I did not, sorry.
We did not do that. We asked, why didn't we go through that?
Okay, but I thought the mayor's answer was it will.
If he said that they were already working.
Right, it came from that house.
They did not,
They did not yet, okay.
give a recommendation.
They should.
No, it's not in there.
No.
It's not in the actual resolution.
We want to add it.
I would prefer it added, and why we have the task force,
You need a zoning working group.
zoning working group, yeah.
That could just be amended up.
Yeah.
Okay, I can make that motion, if everybody's cool with it.
Okay.
Okay, everybody good with that? 97 and 98 are both regarding handicap parking. Resolution 99 is an ordinance amending the code. This is the code, chapter 390 VAT, down and about.
It's a cleanup code primarily, and we made it, but Jonathan made our school zones consistent and conforming with the manual of uniform traffic control devices. And we did change it in committee and took out one of the suggestions that we weren't comfortable with. Everything else is pretty much housekeeping.
I mean,
There's
one thing is an ad that's never been there, and that is creating a school zone in front of the high school.
Right.
So it's lowering the speed limit.
On Broadway.
Yes,
Oh.
between O'Reilly and
Around,
Monday
Around the high
through
school.
Friday.
yeah, it's Monday through Friday, 7 to 4.
4.
And so it'll be consistent throughout school zones. There was some, what was the other
The other
thing?
thing was that
The
it was
thing that we
going to
took
be
out-
during, not just during school.
Yeah, it's gonna say Monday through Friday, 7 AM to 4 PM. But there was something else I can't
Or
remember.
was it the U-turn?
We said, no, we took out the U-turn.
Oh.
What was the other thing? I was fully blanking.
Yeah, it was not significant. It was
Oh, it was a stop sign
somewhere.
for a request from Sarah.
Wait,
Did you make a stop sign request?
I made 2 stop sign requests. At the corner of the intersection of Fairview, Howland, and Fairview Avenue Extension. Right now, there's one at the bottom of Fairview, and cars come zipping around because they don't stop on Howland. So I spoke with John about it, and he agreed that that would be a useful, like, always stop corner because of the traffic that gets into that corner.
That's what we added.
That's what you added.
Is there, what documentation, if any, is there from the city engineer?
He
I think I
submitted,
saw it.
he submitted the committee report.
Okay, so it's from him with his explanation about the change.
And we did take out one of his suggestions.
And is there documentation to support that change?
Why we took it out?
There was no documentation for making it.
So, all the things that is.
Right.
Is it linking to a prior traffic study or anything like that?
No, it's not.
No. But we asked that.
But he agreed.
He agreed reluctantly, take it out. It was a prohibition of each turn at an intersection. I don't know if you had documentation for it is or not.
Or if it was tied to some prior.
We asked if there was
If
like,
there was, we asked if there was a reason, if there was anything that,
Right. Documentation.
That's
Apparently it was a suggestion from constituents that he thought was a good idea, so.
Right. So this happened
At the committee.
public safety.
Yeah.
Is this a time sensitive matter to advance? Because it does seem like having documentation of the change is important for a change where there's some on the spot revision.
I hate to delay the school zone with
Yes.
signage.
Well, that seems different from deciding whether or not to add or change traffic signals.
Well,
This was
his committee report had 3 items. One was a future prohibition, which the committee liked. The second was a stop sign, which he suggested, and he said fine. And the third section was all the school zone stuff. So I wouldn't want to pull the school zone stuff.
Right.
And the stop sign we said yes to, we just struck the U-turn from the
And that striking the terms of the is the one that doesn't have additional documentation. So what do you,
So, go ahead. We could include it.
I'm just, no, I'm not saying to include it. I'm just saying that before something moves forward, it seems like there should be a time to some.
I think it'd be fair for us to say that we'd like more documentation on the U-turn.
Okay.
And I think if we say that, we move forward with the school zone.
All the others, okay.
Yes.
That's-
So that's what we should do. I think it's
Seems-
a second. Go ahead.
Well, he was okay with it, so.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he sent it himself.
It's not in there now, right?
It's not.
Not in here.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a separate action.
if he wants to do it, he can come back to
Would that be?
this documentation.
I'm not gonna say anything.
We should say to him that we've stricken that portion of his.
We told him,
Yeah.
We can tell him that, we don't quite write it down. So, you know,
But
saying we'd like for the
it's on the
document.
record, it's in our
Okay,
meetings.
all right, so we'd like for the documentation.
We asked if there was a reason to have this, if there was accidents, like what kind of data was there to support it, and he said there wasn't any.
So you can just ask him.
Otherwise, we would have
Right.
most likely
Yeah.
taken a different stance.
I'll send it to
Yeah,
as a committee chair.
good. All right, I'm sorry, I skipped over resolution number 6. Which is resolution calling on the New York State Division of Housing and Community Renewal to deny the application for an order submitted by the Kingston Workforce Housing Development Fund Corporation exempting the Stony Run apartment complex from the Emergency Tenant Protection Act of 1974, which is about. Sarah?
Oh, it's about an ongoing issue at the Stony Run complex. There are a group of protected tenants who are there, who are protected according to the regulatory agreement. And they are protected by ETPA, and it states in the regulatory agreement that they will be protected going forward. And the proposal that's been sent, or the application that's been sent to the Department of Housing and Urban Housing and Community Renewal,
From Stony Run.
from the owners, of Stony Run, has asked for the 100% of the units to be exempt from the ETPA. So in that case, because there are some protected tenants in here, there seems to be a conflict between what the owners are asking for and what the regulatory agreement asks for. So that's why I've been, advocating for that to be, for a resolution to go that would ask them to deny the 100% of the exemption for 100% of the tenants there. And then subsequently, I've also asked at the community development meeting, I asked that we look into the regulatory agreement, just so since it's now been almost 2 years, to look back and see, what the status is, what's happened since that agreement was passed. It was passed before I got on the council, so I'd be curious just to find out what the owners have done with the property. So that's separate. But at this point, yes, it would be the application for exemption is in front of the Department of Housing and Community Renewal, and I would like to see us make a statement. But we want to see the tenants protected.
Okay, everybody all right with that?
Does this have spillover into other agreements and other rental, like the agreements we have? You know, other solely,
I don't think.
you know, my fear is,
We have-
fine with it, but,
We have a specific agreement with the Stony Run owners.
so this doesn't have spillover onto other agreements or onto other.
Roco properties are pretty exempt from.
Oh,
And aren't the owners claiming that their property should be exempt because they are also providing those? But for the, you know, protected units, their other units are at affordable rates up to 110%, between 80 and 110% AMI.
That's not the basis.
That's not the case.
The basis is
They're all.
they're not that argument. It's a ministerial act for a property that is owned by profit corporation. It's a ministerial act. There is a station as well as building and vested tenancies that have vested rates. But if we want to go into more detail, we can talk about that separately, but I think that's a conversation.
They're planning to be a charity.
They're claiming to be a sheriff. Right.
they are or they are not.
They are not.
Have you pulled the filings?
No, I just read the background information.
Which is a separate discussion from this particular.
They set up a so
Yeah, they set up a
right,
housing
but they're not
development fund corporation. Yes.
Okay, is everybody okay with the resolution as it is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I apologize for skipping. And then we go to resolution 100, recommending adding the name Joe Fay Way to the signs on Green Avenue between Prospect Street and Clinton Avenue, flanking the Boys and Girls Club of Ulster County building.
So that was
That's not the right,
Right, those are not the right streets. It should be Eagle Jima to Clinton,
which is what the,
which is what the
Committee report.
communication said.
the
Communication
resolution,
said,
but the committee report, I think, was correct. The resolution, you wrote it
Yeah.
right from the
Right.
the
communication.
committee,
That, what you're looking at is not the committee report.
okay,
The committee report is what you signed.
right.
That was correct.
And you said Iwo Jima to Clinton?
Yep. So there's somewhere in the transcription
Elisa?
error.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so we're looking at resolution 100. The committee report should have said Greenkill Avenue between Iwo Jima and Clinton. But the resolution here says Prospect Street and Clinton Avenue. Can we get that fixed tomorrow, please?
Oh. Of course.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I didn't contact her. Yeah. So I do.
I did give them a heads up.
Yeah, that's strange. The new report has it correct.
Bounce it back on.
Just so you know, I was going off of the draft resolution. I honestly was looking at that and not the committee report, so I'll make the correction.
Yeah, we figured it
No
out.
problem.
Yeah, thank you.
Will there be someone there to
Yes.
clarify joke bay and like that? Good, okay. Thank you. Okay, 101, amending resolution 200 of 2007, removing memorial items and allowing Parks and Recreation Department to develop rules and regulations pursuant to a tree and bench donation program. Pretty clear on that one? Questions? Okay with it? All right, good. Let 1,000 trees blossom. 102, authorizing the adoption of a bond ordinance for the sum of $100,000 to fund construction of a sidewalk on Marolina Avenue. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
And I assume you'd be okay with the bond ordinance too. And then we've got the first reading of local law number 4, amending chapter 405, zoning the Kingston form-based. First reading means no vote. This informational purpose. And according to my records, that's all. Anything else anybody wants to bring up? Issues concerning?
You mentioned it to most people already about the changing the community development and housing meeting. I was okay with Bartek, can we be okay with it? I don't send an email,
Thank
but
you.
otherwise,
Changing, what do you mean by changing?
changing the dates.
Oh,
Because there's a housing event that night, so. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Otherwise, June should be.
all right. If there's nothing else, then, to adjourn. That was like an open motion. We couldn't have said anything on that. All right.
I know
Thank
you're
you,
on my
everyone.
hearing.
Thanks, Lisa.
And
Thank
see you
you.
all tomorrow night.
Thank you.